Hi everyone, it's your girl, the Sassy Engineer. I'll be talking about studying abroad. This is an exciting adventure which I think you would want to take on. So to help you get started, these are some things that you should be aware of if you plan to come to New Zealand as an international student. But before we go into that, if you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm the Sassy Engineer. Don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button to like this video. It helps YouTube recommend my videos to people who need it, as well as with the algorithm. All right, let's get into it. Student visas are visas that allow you to study in New Zealand. There is no age limit to getting a student visa in New Zealand, but to qualify, you need to be accepted into a course that is offered by an approved education institute, amongst other requirements. And what is an approved education institute? It simply means an education institute that is approved by either Ministry of Education or New Zealand Qualification Authority. You can study on a visitor visa, but only up to 3 months. If you need to study for more than 3 months, then you will need to get a student visa. And there are different types of student visa. The top 3 for me are the fee-paying student visa, exchange student visa, and pathway student visa. Pathway visa allows you to study up to 3 consecutive courses up to 5 years on a single student visa. Exchange student visa is self-explanatory. The one I will focus on is the fee-paying student visa. A student visa enables you to study in New Zealand. So if you're coming to New Zealand to study full-time for more than 3 months, you will need a student visa. Now you can apply for this visa online or paper application. Many people find it easier applying online, but you can also submit a paper application. It's just that it may take longer to process your visa application when you factor in the fact that you have to post your paper application to the visa application center and wait, and then they post it back to you. However, if you don't have access to a computer, then by all means use a printed form. Fee-paying student visa costs $375, and you can be given up to 4 years. With this visa, you can study on your stated course, you can work depending on your visa conditions, and you can live by yourself if you are up to the age of living by yourself. Who is eligible to apply for a student visa? Just anyone who is coming to New Zealand to study for more than 3 months full-time in New Zealand. Work out how you are going to support yourself while in New Zealand and check the documents that you need to provide with your application, as well as finding out how much the application fee costs before you start your application. They are not going to refund your application fees if your application is not successful. So it's always advisable to know the supporting documents that you need and get them ready, gather your documents before you start and submit your application, so that way you know that you're increasing your chances of getting it right the first time. It doesn't mean that if you don't get approved the first time, you cannot apply again, but it's always good to try as much as you can to provide supporting documents so that you can get it the first time. Now, what are these documents? The first one and the most important one is your unconditional offer letter from your New Zealand education provider. Put simply, your admission letter to study in New Zealand. Then you also have to attach your passport identification page. We call it biodata page. So a copy of your passport data page. Then you need the evidence that you have paid your tuition fee, or you have money to pay it, or you are exempted from paying it. What does this mean? That means that along with the application, you need to attach a tuition fee payment receipt. That is, you would have paid your fees and your education provider would have confirmed that they have received this money, make it no come be audio or late, and they will provide you with a payment receipt. You would attach that payment receipt to your application. Otherwise, you provide a letter from your university or your education provider confirming that you are exempt from paying fees. And this is often for people who have university scholarships or scholarships that the university recognize. If you are outside New Zealand, you can choose to pay your tuition fee after your visa application has been approved in principle. So once you get that approval in principle letter or email, you will then pay your fees and provide the receipt in order for your visa to be granted. Then you have to show evidence of having enough funds, so proof of funds, and also where this money is coming from. So it could be money held by you in your bank account, It could be money held on your behalf. It could be a scholarship from university or from any internationally recognized institution. It could be financial undertaking by a non-New Zealander, so maybe your parents who are not Kiwis or anyone, or it could be sponsorship by a New Zealander. That is, so that person has to be a New Zealand resident or citizen. If that person is not a New Zealand resident or citizen, they will have to fill out financial undertaking form. And this proof of fund doesn't just stop there. You also have to show evidence that you have enough money to leave New Zealand. It used to be at least 1,650 New Zealand dollars, while the proof of funds maintenance fee was 15,000 New Zealand dollars. Evidence of fund can be a fully paid ticket outside New Zealand, or you show that you have enough money to pay for your ticket to leave New Zealand once your study is done. You need to show that you meet the health and character criteria, so evidence of health and character. For health, you will need a medical certificate from a panel physician. You can't just go to any physician. You have to go to the recommended physician by Immigration New Zealand. You can get these details on their website. For character, you will need a police certificate, and you will need to show travel history, basically copies of your visa labels, exit and entry stamps. You'll be asked questions like, have you defaulted, have you been refused visa, have you been deported, all those kind of questions. If you have, just simply state it and explain it. You don't have to lie. You may or may not need a lawyer in that case if your case was very, very, very dire. But if that is the case, then you can employ an immigration lawyer to support you in that aspect. Also attach a cover letter or statement of purpose explaining why you want to study in New Zealand and other information about you. Technically, you're trying to tell them why they should believe that you are a genuine applicant, that you're not just coming to run away, you're coming to study, and that is your genuine purpose. Many people fail to do this, especially with these kind of visa applications where you don't go for interview, you have to submit your papers and have the visa officer check it. That cover letter also serves the purpose of explaining any other gap or information that your supporting document can't really explain, so you use that to explain it more. For instance, if you have had a visa application denied, maybe you applied to US or UK and you were denied, that is a great place to give more details as to why you were denied. There's always a section for that anyway in the application form, but that section is really small, so you can give more information using that cover letter. Many people fail to put cover letter because they don't think, some people don't know, and some people don't think it's relevant. But honestly, cover letter is very good because you use it to explain more those your supporting documents and give more details into it. That way, when the visa officer is looking at them and whatever questions have been raised by looking at your supporting document, your cover letter answers them. In summary, your cover letter will give more clarity on what you've already mentioned in your application. There is a checklist on Immigration New Zealand website that lists the document that you need to provide with your student's visa application. I'll put that link in the description box so that you can click it and learn more. Now, there are things that you should note with student visa before you get excited and start applying. These are some things that you should note with student visas in New Zealand. And the very first one is that most students will have to renew their visa each year. You can do it yourself online or paper. Some universities have these international student offices that can help you with this. You have to book appointment for that. And in that case, you would pay a little bit extra on top of the actual visa application fee for their services. Now, the reason this is because your student visa is usually the same as the length of time of study that you've paid for. So this may be why most students will have to renew their visa each year, because they've only paid their tuition fee for 1 year. If you have a scholarship, and this scholarship is from the university, they are sure that you have enough money to pay the fees every year. University will pay their fees and they're giving you some stipends, so they are sure of that one. If you have scholarship from some internationally recognized institutions, you are sure of getting your full year. But if you have scholarship from some government and from some places that New Zealand does not really have relationship with, chances are that you have to renew your visa every year. So note that. The second thing that you should note is that you can usually work up to 20 hours a week and then full time during the holidays. But if you are studying PhD or any doctoral program, you can work full time all through your study period. It's now up to you and your supervisor in how you manage your time, but you can work full time. Your partner and children can apply for other visas based on their relationship to you. Then, if you want to change what or where you study, you have to apply for variation of condition, or you simply get a new visa. So these are some important things that you should note for student visas in New Zealand. However, every information that you need is on the Immigration New Zealand website. Note that you can apply for this visa yourself, but if you know that your situation is complicated for whatever reason, then you can ask a licensed immigration advisor to apply on your behalf. You can also ask a licensed immigration officer to apply for you if you don't have time to apply. But note that not just anybody can apply on your behalf here. It has to be a licensed office immigration advisor or lawyer or anyone who is exempt. And all of this is on the Immigration New Zealand website. I'm going to put the link to the student visa fact sheet in the description box. That is all about student visa application to New Zealand. I have put the relevant links in the description box. I hope this video has helped you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up to help YouTube recommend it to people who also need videos like this. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.